Recently, I finished the Breath of the Wild Champions Ballad expansion pack. I loved it. The DLC was beautifully crafted, had intuitive puzzles, it was difficult, but not to the point where I want to throw my controller out the window. The art style fit with the base game, and it never felt like some throwaway cash grab. But the best part was when I had finished with the entire quest and I received the Master Cycle 0. The Master Cycle is a motorcycle that you can use to go pretty much anywhere. It is extremely versatile and can go places that horses flat out refuse to go. It is just pure fun to drive around off of mountains and whatnot. While I was driving around, something crossed my mind. Isn't the Master Cycle also in Mario Kart? I checked, and sure enough, it is in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, along with the wheels and glider. This made me wonder, which Master Cycle is better? To figure this out, I will be testing both of the cycles in 3 different areas: speed, acceleration, and fuel efficiency. The first category is speed. This one is fairly straightforward. Which Master Cycle is able to go the fastest? To calculate speed, I need to know 2 things: the distance traveled and the time it takes to travel that distance. I am going to try to work out a good comparable distance for both of them. Then we run into our first glaring problem. How do you compare distances in 2 completely separate games? I'm going to start by getting distances in real-world measurements for both of them. First, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It took me a while to figure out how I was going to measure this, and I thought I was going to have to resort to pixel measurements when I remembered that Mario Kart actually keeps a record of how far you have driven in total. The value is displayed in this little place in the bottom left-hand corner of the main menu. Immediately, we run into another problem. The distance being displayed is in kilometers with no decimal point, so this won't be very precise at measuring distance, which is a problem. My solution is to play through a single course 50 times, take the distance that the menu displays, and use that to average out the distance of the track. Then I will play through the course again, taking the exact same route, but this time with the Master Cycle 0, and get the exact amount of time it takes to go around the course. From there, I will be able to calculate speed. I am going to be running these tests on Excitebike Arena because it is simple, so I will be able to take the exact same route every single time. After running through Excitebike Arena 50 times, my distance counter had increased by 145, and dividing that by 50 told me that Excitebike Arena is 2.9 kilometers long, give or take about 20 meters. For the time it took to go that distance, I got an average of 2 minutes and 1 second. Converting that to hours gives us 0.0336111 hours, and then dividing 2.9, the distance, by the time, gives us approximately 86.2 kilometers per hour, or 53.6 miles per hour. Now time for Breath of the Wild. This one will be significantly easier than Mario Kart. In Breath of the Wild, there is this mini-game where this man asks you to glide using the paraglider for his research. This doesn't seem to help, but the game displays the distance that you travel in meters, meaning that if I use a glitch that allows me to fly infinitely, I can measure distances. Now, the minigame starts in a lake, so I can't just take a distance and then drive the Master Cycle along the exact same route, but what I can do is measure the distance between the minigame and a point and see how far that is on the screen, and then draw 2 points exactly that distance apart in a different location and drive between that distance. A bit complicated, but it should work. I measured out 2,500 meters and found it to be exactly 1 inch on the built-in regular Nintendo Switch screen with the map zoomed all the way out. I decided to use Hyrule Field as the test area because it is just a huge open flat plane of ground with barely any bumps or obstacles. Hyrule Field on the screen was smaller than an inch, but a half inch worked perfectly. So I cut the total distance I was going to travel down to 1,250 meters and got to testing. It took me 1 minute and 19 seconds to travel the full 1,250 meters. Dividing 1,250 meters by 10 gives us the distance in kilometers, and then converting 1 minute and 19 seconds into hours gives us 0.021944 hours. Then dividing distance by time gives us 56.9 kilometers per hour, or 35.3 miles per hour. That is significantly lower than the 86.2 kilometers per hour that we measured previously in Mario Kart, so Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wins this round. Next is acceleration. Acceleration is an incredibly important stat in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it is basically just how long it takes you to get up to full speed. Now, the Mario Kart Wiki has acceleration values for every kart part and character in the game, but these values aren't in something measurable like meters or feet. They just have a number associated with them. So if I want to figure out a kart's acceleration, I will actually have to test it myself. When a kart reaches full speed, it makes a very specific sound, so I can start a timer when the kart starts accelerating and stop it when the kart reaches full speed. After doing this for both of the games, I concluded that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's version of the bike took 3.9 seconds to get up to full speed, while Breath of the Wild's version took 3.7 seconds. A slim margin, but Breath of the Wild wins this one. The final category is fuel efficiency. One of my major gripes about the Master Cycle Zero is that its fuel runs out way too fast. Sure, it's cheap to fill back up, but it is incredibly annoying when it just stops moving randomly. To test Breath of the Wild's Master Cycle, I will fill up the tank to full and drive between the points that I previously measured until it runs out of fuel, and add up the distance I traveled to get the answer. I was able to go back and forth between the points about 7.6 times before I completely ran out of fuel. Multiplying 7.6 times 1,250, the distance between the points, tells us that Breath of the Wild Master Cycle is able to go about 9.5 kilometers before it completely runs out of fuel. Now for Mario Kart. Despite having the fuel meter on the dashboard just like the Breath of the Wild version, Mario Kart Deluxe's fuel meter doesn't change at all. It's just decorative, which means that I am going to have to make some assumptions. I am going to assume that Mario Kart karts run out of fuel as soon as the race ends. I could just be lazy and say that Mario Kart Master Cycle runs out of fuel after 2.9 kilometers, which is the length of Excitebike Arena, but Excitebike Arena is by no means the longest track in Mario Kart. It's actually one of the shortest, and I think Mario Kart deserves a fair shot in this competition. So I decided I was going to have to figure out the length of the longest Mario Kart course, which happens to be Mount Wario. But I don't have to play through the course 50 times like I did with Excitebike Arena, because now we know the cycle's speed. This means that I only have to play through Mount Wario about 5 times, average the time it took, and then I will be able to calculate distance based on speed. It took me approximately 2 minutes and 3 seconds to complete Wario Stadium. 2 minutes and 3 seconds is 0.0341666 hours, so multiplying the bike's top speed times the time gives us a distance of 3 kilometers for Wario Stadium. This means that the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe version of the bike gets about 3 kilometers while full on fuel. Because this is far less than the fuel efficiency of Breath of the Wild's bike, Breath of the Wild wins this round. After all of this testing, I can confidently say that the game that has the best version of the Master Cycle Zero is Breath of the Wild. Honestly, I'm not too surprised, because Breath of the Wild's bike is much more versatile and better overall, whereas in Mario Kart, the developers had to keep it more balanced to avoid upsetting the whole game. It was a lot of fun though, and I am considering doing another video like this again if people like this one enough. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, because I am a channel that is trying to grow and likes help get this video recommended to more people. I will try to make similar content to this in the future, and you will most likely only see my videos again if you are subscribed. Thank you, and have a nice day.